We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin. I made this silver update on Sunday night, and then this morning I went for my usual morning hike, and when I got back, silver had leapt by an incredible buck, more than a buck. We are now less than $3 away from setting record all-time highs, which puts silver into the mainstream media press and adds more rocket fuel to this fire that gold and silver are on right now. So, I've never purchased silver over $33, but I'm going to be buying some silver today because the gold-silver ratio is telling me that silver is still an incredible bargain. And so I'm going to add to my position. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. And now, back to our regular programming. Whoa! Last week, silver closed above 46 at 46.05 on the close and 46.63 intraday. We are less than $4 away from setting record all-time highs. And what that means is we are less than $4 away from silver being in the mainstream media news every month, then every week, then every day, just like it was back in 1980 when it was going ballistic back then. So this is measured in US dollars, though. US dollar has been strong. What about the rest of the world's currencies, some weak currencies? Here's the Japanese yen, and Silverhand says silver's price in JPY keeps smashing new all-time highs, but the media is crickets on it, and they are. This is interesting. You can see the cup and handle formation here that we were developing from 2012 through 2018, I think it was, and then that cup and handle completed. And it started taking off like a rocket. And, I said that this would be a silver slingshot. And man, it was, especially in other currencies. But we are setting record highs in these other currencies. So this is what the rest of the world is looking at. We're in this bubble in the United States, and we only look at things from our point of view. So silver's here's the performance for the last 2 years. So 2 years ago, silver, the stock market is up 55%. Gold is up 105%. But silver is up 120% in the last 2 years. And then year to date, the stock market is up 12%. Gold is up 42%. Silver is up 55%. Here's that beautiful cup and handle formation. If we look at it on a daily, like I said, we're less than $4 from completing this cup and handle that is projecting, way up in the triple digits. I do not know exactly where. I'm not the greatest technical analyst, but I see a lot of people do this. I've been doing it for years myself, and I was the first one to recognize this 45-year cup and handle. So this cup and handle is what we were all paying attention to, and it broke, and we had the silver slingshot that I was talking about, and it continues. But this is the daily. Here's the weekly, not much different. It's almost the same. And then here's the monthly. We've already had confirmation and a breakout on the yearly and the quarterly. And like I said, we're like $3 and something away on the monthly, and then the weekly, and then the daily. We still have a whole quarter left to go this year. We could be seeing record all-time highs. I'm talking about 5,000-year all-time highs for silver within just a few weeks here, or even less. I mean, it leapt almost a buck on last Friday. So moving on. The thing is, it's doing all of this without any excitement in the West. Where is all of this coming from? Make gold great again, says gold and silver retail buying sentiment check at Sydney's largest bullion store. No queue, no fear of missing out, no nothing. The fleecing will continue until morale improves. Well, morale, it's coming up for silver stackers. A lot of silver stackers were depressed for quite a while, but their morale is improving. It's going to, the fleecing will continue until the public's morale deteriorates into panic. And then you're going to see armed guards at this door and a line stretching around the block, just like it was back in 1980. I want you to listen to this. This is from James Anderson. We worked together for years. James is a good friend of mine. But Danielle Gali, I think it is, of TD Securities. So this is TD Securities, major brokerage firm, on silver near 44. This is a couple days old, so it was still around 44 then. We're over 46 now, but I want you to listen to this.
Any thoughts on silver? We know it's an industrial metal, yada, yada, but a much smaller market than gold. Is it likely to outpace its big brother, do you think?
Yeah, we think this is the end game of what we envisioned for silver. If you recall, Andy, we've spoken about this quite a few times. Mm-hmm. This is what we saw as the silver squeeze you can buy into, which is really premised by a drain in London vaults, free-floating inventories of silver. We think that drain has now reached a level that is critically low, meaning that at the average pace of ETF inflows over the course of historical cutting cycles, there are probably less than 4 months remaining until the LBMA's entire free-floating inventory stockpile is depleted. That means that the risk of gaps in prices is more elevated, liquidity is critically constrained, and every further drain from current levels should be supportive for prices and at a convex fashion, meaning faster and faster fashion.
Okay, so he's talking about convex prices. He's talking about it going up in a convex fashion, exponential. He's talking about gaps where it goes to 55, the public starts charging, it jumps to 80 with a big gap in the chart, and you don't have a chance to buy in that area. And then the next day it jumps up to 100 and so on, which is entirely possible. But this is TD Securities. So mainstream is just starting. So Ben Rickard says the traditional 60-40 portfolio is dead. Morgan Stanley recommends liquidating 20% of bond allocation, 20% of bond allocation, and converting it to gold. So actually it's 50% because it's a 60-20-20 portfolio. Hi, it's Mike here. Just a quick message. I wanted to welcome the huge number of new visitors to our videos, but point out that less than 15% of our viewers have subscribed to this channel and hit the notification bell. We're heading into some turbulent times, so if you don't want to miss any updates, make sure you enable notifications. And thank you as always for clicking the thumbs up button. One more thing. At GoldSilver.com, we've been providing top-notch educational content for over 20 years. If you'd like to help us continue this mission, we'd be honored to be your precious metals dealer. It's a win-win. At the moment, you can get up to $2,000 in bonus silver by ordering from us. Check out GoldSilver.com in the link below. Thanks, and now back to the video. So if bonds were 40%, and you're liquidating half of them, that creates the 60-20-20 portfolio. So liquidating is actually half of your bonds that Morgan Stanley is recommending that people do. Now, this says converting it to gold. It doesn't say silver. So silver may still lag a little bit, but eventually all these people are going to be finding out about the fundamentals of silver. And so this is really, really huge. David Bateman, I bought $400 million worth of gold last year and bagged a measly 0.001% of the annual global gold mine output. I also bought $400 million worth of silver and purchased 1.5% of annual global silver stock. 1,500 times more percentage-wise. Do you get why silver is passing up gold now? It's the most coveted resource on Earth. Not yet, David, but it will be. Far greater demand than gold. On a percentage basis, judging which you say in the next statement, but I want to be clear for the public the gold has a far, far greater demand than silver. And it's by many, many multiples right now, because silver is a minuscule, microscopic market that just cannot take very much cash flooding into it. And David basically says it right here. I learned early on in business not to make a private placement without knowing the total shares outstanding. Now, when I wrote my first book, the size of the silver market was 1/300th the size of the gold market. So to make the same percentage move only required 1/300th the amount of cash flooding into it. Now, First Majestic says, while silver has had a good rally,